Imagine being in a car accident, and the only thing that is saving your life is whether or not you have a blood transfusion. If you lived prior to the 1600s, you probably would have died. Considering that according to the American Red Cross, car accident victims can require up to 100 pins of blood. Thankfully, we live in the present, 2012, and blood transfusions are available thanks to blood banks. Blood banks have saved millions of lives, which is why I believe it is essential for you guys to know at least a glimpse of a history of blood banks, blood bank procedures, and the benefits of blood banks. The history of blood banks have come a long way since the first medical practices. Imagine having a fever, and instead of taking medicine, the doctor decides to drain some blood out. According to the American Red Cross, these procedures were actually very common in the late 1700s. It was generally believed that excessive amounts of blood caused all sorts of bodily ills. According to American Blood Centers, the first human blood transfusion was documented in France in 1667. This blood transfusion was performed from sheep to human. Blood transfusions were initially used to treat disease and trauma, and although this may seem like a good thing, it appeared to be disastrous at first. Imagine now being in the operating room and in need of a blood transfusion. You get the blood, and then you realize that you don't get better. Nobody knows why, but actually your body rejected the blood. It was not until 1901 that German scientist Dr. Karl Landsteiner discovered that there were different types of blood groups. According to the American Red Cross, in 1907, Ludwig Hechtelmann suggested cross-matching of blood. Cross-matching of blood is a procedure that allows different patients to get the type of blood that is needed. It is thanks to the people that I mentioned that we have the right types of blood for the people who need it. Thanks to these breakthroughs, blood banks started forming. And according to the American Blood Centers, the first U.S. blood bank was formed in 1936, not too far away from here, in Chicago. Blood banks soon started rising, and they were specially used to help treat World War II victims. Finally, the American Association of Blood Banks was founded in 1947, which encouraged to continue blood research, promote the exchange of scientific information, and develop the standards of practice, which are still in force today. Others, thankfully, are not. Which brings me to my next point, how procedures of blood banks have changed. According to the American Red Cross, syphilis testing was performed on donated blood in 1947. In 1971, hepatitis B testing of blood was done. And up until 1985, donated blood was being tested for HIV. These testing procedures are still being done today, along with much other testing to ensure that every single drop of blood that is being transfused is safe. One procedure that is thankfully less common now is paying people to donate blood. According to the American Red Cross in 1901, the U.S. blood banks moved towards an all-volunteer blood donation system. This prevented different people, especially people in need of money, to donate blood in excessive amounts. From personal experience, I know that nowadays the procedures are very safe. First, you are asked to fill out a series of papers to determine whether or not you are eligible to donate blood. Then you go through a mini physical exam, where it is decided if you are eligible to donate or not. You are not eligible to donate blood if you weigh less than 110 pounds, have a low iron level, have recently traveled outside of the U.S., feel sick of the day of appointment, have tattoos or recent piercings, or if you are pregnant. After your mini physical exam, you are directed into a table where you will begin the blood donation. But first, blood samples are taken from test tubes such as these, and and those are sent out to make sure that your blood is okay. Usually what follows are light refreshments to prevent dizziness. From personal experience, I know that these procedures are safe, and every time you donate blood, you can actually see the staff using new gloves. They sterilize the bed in which you donate blood and use a new needle and then discard it. Donating blood takes around an hour, but the actual blood donation only takes around 10 minutes. Not everyone is willing to donate blood to blood banks. Blood banks are like a gym. It takes a big sacrifice to engage, but the rewards are amazing. Blood banks' main benefit is saving people's lives. Consider the following provided by the American Red Cross. Every 2 seconds, everyone in the U.S. needs blood. More than 44,000 blood donations are needed every single day. Blood transfusions are not only needed for surgery, but more than 88,000 people in the U.S. with sickle cell disease require blood transfusion. Throughout the years, every single year, more than 1 million people are diagnosed with cancer. And some of them need blood, mostly daily, for their chemotherapy treatments. Blood banks not only benefit the people who have surgery, cancer, or sickle cell disease, but blood banks can benefit you guys too. According to medical doctor Christine Leon, blood donation removes excess amounts of iron which cause free radical formation in the body. Dr. Leon goes on to explain that free radical formation causes cellular changes which can disrupt normal cell functions and increase the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and cancer. So in essence, donating blood can help lower the risk of heart attacks and cancer. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to donate blood if they're not comfortable in doing so, but I do want you guys to take a moment to think about what Dr. Leon says. An hour a day can save up to 3 people's lives. To conclude, knowing that the history, procedures, and benefits of blood banks, I hope that you guys have gained some knowledge and learned to appreciate blood banks and not take them for granted. If you are ever in a car accident, don't be alarmed. Count on being okay, thanks to blood banks.